James Melendez. Welcome to the tasting table. These 5 wines are next from the producer Masciarelli in Abruzzo. There are 2 white wines, one Abruzzo Bianco wine. There is one Trebbiano d'Abruzzo, one rosé, which is a Cerasuolo d'Abruzzo, and 2 red wines, the Montepulciano d'Abruzzo wines. I'll give my thoughts, impressions, and point score. So please stay tuned. Before I get started, please give a like and subscribe to this channel. Putting foot on ground in June 2023 was a very eye-opening experience. Yes, I know where Abruzzo is. I can look on a map. I know exactly the region and where it is and its placement with other regions and cities in Italia. So it was very nice to put foot on ground in Abruzzo, and really that closeness to the Adriatic and the Apennines is pretty remarkable, and it's all present. So you can be in a city on the coastal side and the Apennines are right behind you, and they're snow-capped and they're absolutely beautiful and stunning, and that historical marker in place in time is what gets you to really understand and to enjoy these wines. So definitely put this on your must-travel list, and in the meantime you can get these wines in the United States. This is the 22 vintage of the Gemma Abruzzo Bianco DOC wine, DOC, and this is a 13% ABV front label. Here's a back label. Now this is a $24 suggested retail price point. There are 3 varieties in this wine. 50% of this is Trebbiano d'Abruzzo, 30% of this is the Pecorino, and 20% is Cococciola, which you're not going to see a lot of Cococciola. That's a variety you're going to find in this region, Abruzzo. Now this wine is a delicious wine to be enjoyed with seafood, shellfish, as well as charcuterie, cheeses, vegetarian dishes, pizza, and so forth. Now the vinification on this wine is stainless steel at controlled temperatures and aging in the bottle. So a very nice light hay-light parchment colorization. The nose is presenting a very clean character, fresh character, coastal Italian lemon skin, as well as fleshy pear, sea spray, and white flowers. Now the palate is completely appreciable because I'm getting a characterization of tart white fruit, apple and pear notes, as well as Amalfi lemon and compacted seashells. Absolutely glorious, memorable wine. This wine is 94 points. Now, this wine is the Masciarelli Marina Cvetic Trebbiano d'Abruzzo wine. This is a Riserva wine. It is a 2020 vintage. And let me show you the front label as well as the back label. This is 100% Trebbiano d'Abruzzo wine, 14% ABV. And so I will also mention that this Trebbiano d'Abruzzo is not related to the other Trebbiano. So you hear the word Trebbiano, you should be asking the question, which Trebbiano is it? Is it Trebbiano Toscano, Trebbiano Spoletino, Romagnolo? And so you can ask these questions because they're going to characterize differently. They're not going to even taste the same, in my opinion. So the only thing they have related is their first name is Trebbiano. Vinification is the following: cryomaceration in the press for 12 hours, fermentation in French oak barrels, aged on the lees, and then frequent batonnage. And so this is presenting with a light hay colorization. This is different than the Abruzzo Bianco. This definitely has that contact with French oak, and it's not a lot of French oak in terms of that character. What I like about the nose here is freshly sliced green apple, as well as a very bright, fresh Amalfi lemon, tart green apple, green citrus, pine nut, and moistened crushed rocks. A nice lingering finish. And I'll also say that there's some beeswax notation on this wine. This wine is 96 points. The price point of this wine is $60. What I love about Cerasuolo d'Abruzzo, it's an historic wine. It's an historic wine that this has been made in Abruzzo for some time. It is not even trying to be another style of rosé. It is this darker colored rosé, and it's one that I'd call a strawberry or cathedral stained glass window colorization, and it's harmonious and beautiful. And I would even say that this is not going to taste, if you have a Montepulciano rosé wine, rosato wine, it's not going to be like this wine because this definitely has a sense of character, a little more skin contact, and that darker colorization does, I would say, really change how this wine is going to be tasting. But it's one that's so compelling and beautiful with a lot of dishes. Vinifications are following. After destemming, this spends 12 hours on the skins at 4 degrees centigrade, which is about 39.2 degrees Fahrenheit. Fermentation at controlled temperatures, and aging on fine lees for 3 months until bottling. Because of the vinification on this wine, the colorization, it makes for a very exciting experience, and one that I think is good for year-round wine tasting. And so I definitely recommend tasting, especially in the cooler times of the year or darker times of the year, to enjoy a rosato or a Cerasuolo d'Abruzzo wine. And this is really much when I think about say a French wine, a Tavel, it's in that colorization. It's fantastically and stunningly beautiful. What I like about the nose on this wine is mountain strawberry as well as red floral, and a sense of moistened stones as well. Bright acidity to this, as well as a characterization of mountain strawberry, morello cherry for that tartness, and mineral and spice core, a sense of graphite on this as well. This wine is 95 points, and the price point on this wine suggested retail is $24. Now this wine is next. This is the Masciarelli Marina Cvetic Montepulciano d'Abruzzo DOC Riserva 2019 vintage wine. Back label for you to look at here. 100% Montepulciano, 14.5% ABV. And here we go with the pour on this wine. The vinification note is the following. It's in stainless steel. It's 28 to 30 degrees centigrade, which is about 82 to 86 degrees Fahrenheit. And this is followed by aging 12 months in French oak barrique in first passage, followed by bottle aging. Now here we go. First, this is a wine that I think is fantastic with food. I enjoy this with a variety of dishes. The last I served with this particular wine was a bolognese. The pomodori was fantastic with this in terms of just really giving that really nice, I would say, complementary experience to this wine here. So this is really dark colorization. This is one of the wines that I would say it's not a vitreous wine. I can't see through it, and that's fine. That's exactly the color it should be. And it's a darker violet colorization. Now the nose is expressive of both red and black bramble, fresh red rose petals, autumnal leaves on forest floor, and fresh herbs. Next is the palate characterization. The texture is fantastic, lovely tannins, fresh wine. It's interwoven with cassis as well as blackberry, cracked red pepper, gorgeous acidity, especially noticeable on the finish. This wine is 95 points out of 100 points. Now this wine is next. This is a Villa Gemma Montepulciano d'Abruzzo. This is the DOC Riserva wine 2018 vintage. Back label for you to look at. First produced in 1984. 15% ABV, which is actually something that a lot of people don't think about in terms of this being a higher ABV wine. Definitely can handle its alcohol quite well. The vine aging is between 30 and 35 years. A very, very, I would say, almost bright ruby colorization, non-vitreous. Again, this is Montepulciano. I'm not going to expect this to be a vitreous wine. This is 100% Montepulciano wine, and the price point of this wine is $90. The vinification is very similar to the other Montepulciano wine, which is 28 to 30 degrees centigrade, which is about 82 to 86 degrees Fahrenheit. So this is followed by long aging 12 months in French oak. Sublime, beautiful, and so distinctive, and such a handsome polished wine. Character of deciduous forest, especially in the autumn time, the fall time. Freshly ground spices, sanded cedar, as well as both dried and fresh red rose petals. So you're getting the sense of the tannins on this wine, as well as its bright acidity. And this is getting character of cassis, as well as black cherry, fresh herbs, bay leaf, and thyme and ground pepper on the finish. This wine is 97 points out of 100 points. Thank you for watching. More information on the producer down below. Questions and comments, please list them there. If you've never had a Cerasuolo d'Abruzzo or a Montepulciano d'Abruzzo wine, definitely seek out these wines, and lovely white wines as well. They're all gorgeous. Thank you for watching. In the meantime, you'll find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Tumblr, and I appreciate your support. Thank you for watching. I will see you soon. Salute!